Hello, welcome back. Today I'm working on an 8-inch hammer. It's actually a request from a customer. He's looking for a 6 to 8 ounce hammer. So figured I'd go ahead and give him what he wants. Starting with a 2 3/8 long piece of 1-inch square stock, and it's coming in at 10 ounces right now. So hopefully with some forging losses and some grinding work, I can get this down to the size that he wants. He's just looking for a flat on one side and kind of rounded or domed on the other. Not so much a ball peen hammer, just more of a rounder, flatter. So got everything marked up and started drifting a little bit just to make sure all my marks were straight. A little bit of fidget work I didn't want to film, so let's go ahead and get this thing hot again and get back on it. Alright, so I'm going to use my 6-pound short handle sledge. Hopefully get through this thing pretty quickly. The only thing I worry about when using this big hammer is winding up with one big giant arm and one little T-Rex arm. So if I was left-handed or able to swing left-handed, I would alternate to avoid that from happening. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and punch our way through this. It's going to take a few heats, kind of rotating it around to keep the hole straight. Kind of works out any kind of off alignment you might start to make if you just keep hitting it the same way. It's a little bouncy as it cools down. Alright, so I put the punch away with the handle on it. I am about ready to go through. So I'm going to switch over to my other punch. And this is offset my drift. Let's get it back hot again. Alright, let's see if we can get it this time. I'm going to move it down here on the table. There it is. Alright, so we're going to heat it back up and start drifting it out. I'll show you the hole. Alright, so let's start drifting this thing out. The style of hammer that he wants. We're going to be doing a lot of cross peen work. Alright, so use a swedge block so I don't flatten out the cheeks I'm trying to make as I hammer the drift in. So we're going to alternate sides, try to keep it even. So I'm actually getting a more comfortable swing with the straight peen. Oops. So we're trying to pay attention to keep everything even. Side to side, top to bottom. You don't want it to get too wonky. It'll start to get crooked on you. So I started pulling the cheeks down. Pretty low on the drift. But the eye's going to squint on you a little bit. You want to have enough drift left to work that out. Alright, so I'm just going side to side. Trying to keep everything even. When I get this thing out, as far as as wide as I want those cheeks to be, we'll bring it back and we'll just get this drift on through there. So we're still pretty low on the drift. All right, so I put the cross peen away. Now I'm just kind of getting those marks out, and where I was focusing on the center, kind of bowed it where the eye was more narrow. So the style of hammer that was requested, not what we're looking for. Otherwise, I would have put it up on the block to keep the ends wider. Kind of straightening everything up before I move on to the next step. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get the guillotine tool out now. I'm about halfway up the drift. I'm going to do a little bit of isolations in front and behind the eye. Then finish driving the drift home. Alright, so I'm in the guillotine tool. I'm just trying to push the faces out a little bit. I'm not going to do a lot of this. I'm not going to do the sides, just the top and the bottom. We're going to clean up these upsets as we go. So, about halfway up the drift, so I left some drift so I can clean up any distortion I get in the eye while I'm doing this. Alright, so I'm just finishing up work with the guillotine tool here. I just have to hit each side. One more time. I'm just trying to keep this upset clean as I go. So that requires a couple more runs through the tool. But I think this is going to be it for the guillotine. This is where we're kind of at right now. This front face is going down a little bit. I'm going to have to correct that. But, and it looks like it might be bowed a little bit, so I might have to take an unsupported blow to get that straightened out. Alright, so we'll see if we can't get this back in the center, an unsupported blow. Alright, that's all that took. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I gotta get this hammer face here up a little bit, so I went ahead and corrected that off the camera. I just took it over to the vise. Now I'm just going to work on this hammer faces a little bit. And that's going to push a lot of material forward. It's going to get ground off. And hopefully that'll bring us into the range of weight that we're looking for. All right, so I worked on the hammer faces a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this drift where I want it. Make sure it's straight. We'll flip it over, do the other side. Then we got to get touch mark in it. All right, let's go to the other side. got time to start looking at it, find out what's going to be the top and what's going to be the bottom. So this one actually looks pretty good. Looks like it's just going to be my choice. So next we're just going to get the touch mark in it, and that'll probably be it for the forging. Alright, so let's get the touch mark in. I did drift it a few more times. This is going to be pretty much the way it is. Oh crap, stop rotating. It's going to go on the floor. Nope. So this is going to be pretty much the way it is. I'm going to kind of look at it while it's on the drift. Everything looks pretty straight. So I do have some grinding to do on the faces. I don't have any kind of face dies or anything like that, so but that's okay. I do have a belt grinder. And I ain't ashamed to use it. Alright, so that is going to be that. This is kind of the forging. We'll show you top. And we'll show you a bottom. Ooh, it does look a little wonky right here. I might have to throw that in real quick and address that. Yeah, that's a little wonky right there. Let me take care of that real quick. Alright, so I'm just going to take a few normalization cycles before it goes on the belt grinder. So we'll go through this. I'll probably take I don't know, a couple of them. Get over to the belt grinder, and then I'll bring you back when everything's faced up and how it's going to look when it goes into heat treat. So hold on. Alright, since the forging, I just went ahead and just finished the hammer. Figured I'd bring you back when it was all done. The hammerhead came in right at 8 ounces. It's just over 8 inches in length, so I think I got what customer's looking for, and just waiting to hear from him whether or not this is the one he wants. So if you're interested in something like this, you can check out my Etsy store at Metalman Productions at Etsy.com. But other than that, if you're just interested in watching this kind of stuff, thanks for stopping by. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.